I have a full cup of coffee here. And it was 4th of July yesterday, so I'm having cherry pie for breakfast. Welcome to my first video. My name is Noelle, and today I'm going to do a financial reset for the month of July. This is a process that I've been doing every single month for about a year and a half, and it has completely changed the way my husband and I manage our finances, our relationship with money, and most importantly, it's created a way for us to take steps towards financial goals that we've had for years. We are going to get a little bit vulnerable, a little bit transparent. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below, and I will get back to you as well. Let's jump to my spreadsheet and start looking at these numbers. Let's start by taking a look at our income. My husband gets paid once a month, I get paid twice a month, and we received what we expected. We keep the bulk of our savings in a high yield savings account. Based on the money and the balance that we have in that account, we receive around $500 a month in interest. I also received restricted stock units this month from my employer, and then we did do some dog sitting, so we have an extra $900 from that. All of that comes out to be the $19,087 in income. All right, now we're going to go through our bills and our subscriptions, which usually don't ever fluctuate or change. So our bills usually come out to be about 14% of our monthly income. Starting off with our rent, we pay $2,400 a month, and we rent an in-law suite on my parents' property. So that's why this is not reflective of the astronomical Bay Area prices that you usually see. So what we have done is we've created our savings goal to be reflective of pretending that we're paying more rent than we actually are, so that we are just putting that extra cash into savings, and we're able to kind of get into the rhythm and mindset of how it feels to be paying a normal Bay Area rent price. So when we do eventually move out, we are not like caught off guard, or we don't get sticker shock, I guess you could say. We also pay $143 for auto insurance. This month we actually paid a little bit more. I don't know why our auto insurance fluctuates like that sometimes, but it does. I also pay for identity theft insurance for almost $13 a month. It's just worth that peace of mind. If I ever have my identity stolen or anything compromised and I lose money because of that situation, I have insurance on that. I also pay for disability insurance, $24.99 a month. And then my husband and I both have term life insurance. If anything were to happen to my husband or myself, we have peace of mind that the girls are taken care of. And term life insurance is a little bit different than whole life insurance in the sense that it's not going into any savings for us. It's not creating value. It is just going out. But in return, if anything were to happen, we have money that would be coming to our families. We also pay for pet insurance for our golden doodle bear. I just don't ever want to be in a situation where bear needs some type of procedure or treatment done that is like well above what we can afford. So I think $33 a month, almost $1 a day, is worth just that reassurance that Bear is taken care of. We pay $22.99 for our Netflix account. Honestly, that feels a little expensive. I feel like there used to be so many better shows, but lately it's just not giving. I'm gonna take a bite of my pie. We'll see if we continue that. Amazon, on the other hand, we use Amazon every single week to buy our household products, whether that's like wipes or sponges, dishwasher soap, or laundry detergent. I usually have those on a subscription. So we pay the $16.36 for Amazon Prime, and we also use their video services as well. Spotify, we pay $10.99. I don't think this is a family plan because whenever I'm listening to music and then my husband jumps on, I get kicked off. So I think it's just like a one user plan, $10.99 a month. My Aura ring, I love my Aura ring. I pay $5.99 a month for the subscription. I got this a couple of months ago. I've worn it every single day since. There was probably like 1 week that I don't wear it, and that's because we were on a cruise and I don't want like the salt water to corrode it, but I love the Oura Ring. The only gripe that I have with it is that you have to pay this monthly subscription for the app after you have bought an Oura Ring that's like a couple $100s. That just feels like it should be included, but I will still be paying it month after month. My husband pays $10 for insurance for his cell phone. I also pay $2.99 for iCloud storage because I take 1.5 million pictures a day, usually of our girls. I also have a fitness membership. It's called One Pass Select, and it's through my employer, where for $144 a month, I get access to Club Pilates, Orange Theory, Stretch Lab, Yoga 6, Bar, and I just think that is an amazing deal. And then finally, we pay for LinkedIn Premium. My husband currently is job searching, and so this is a really useful tool. And once he's able to secure a new job, we'll be taking this off of this list. For now, we're going to keep it because it's been very helpful. Now we're going to the scary part, but let's go through them. Let's go through them. Groceries, our budget is $1,100 a month, and we usually are within that range. What we find that works for us is going to Costco at the beginning of the month and stocking up on bulk items that we use throughout the rest of the month. And then we go to Safeway or Trader Joe's, kind of sprinkled here and there. Eating out, when we go to a restaurant, our bill is always going to be like at least $100 or a little bit above that because it's 4 of us. So this is an area that is kind of like hard to rein back on, but we definitely need to focus on this. I feel like we did really good with our fuel section. Shopping, yeah. Basically, the section, it just needs to be like pulled in. There is no reason for this number to be this high. This is definitely going to be a focus area for the months to come. Entertainment, we spent $802 this month. We put my daughter into a dance camp the first week of her summer, and that was $500. It was really neat. She was able to learn all of these dances. It kept her busy. She was able to meet some new people. So I put that into entertainment because it's entertaining her, right? We also took the family to go see Inside Out 2, and that movie was so good. Oh my gosh. I may or may not have cried at the end of the movie. It was just such a deep message, and I almost feel like it was meant more for adults than it was for kids. Not because it was inappropriate or anything, but because just the message really hit home. Our home budget, we were under budget this month, so we spent $95. We were under budget by $104, which is good because these other red sections need some help. Our home section is really just meant for like laundry detergent, dish soap, sponges, like all of those things. We had a lot of celebrations this month, which is fun. My mom's birthday, Father's Day, graduation. So a lot of gift giving this month, and I love gift giving. I think it's my love language, gift giving. I always find it hard to set a budget for gifts because I love buying things for people that I love. Oh, and this includes the Giants tickets. Bear got a haircut. He got a grooming this month, and that was very expensive. It was actually, this was the whole price of it, $228. We try to do it here and there, but that's like a once every quarter type of expense. This month, we got our nails done, both me and my daughter. There was a haircut involved. Oh, and I purchased some new supplements. So I'm trying Nutrafol, which is like a hair growth vitamin. I also purchased some probiotics. I basically just refilled on a lot of our vitamins, and that can be a little pricey, but this should definitely not be anywhere near this in the next month. Miscellaneous, we were in budget. This usually just includes if we have to pay a bridge toll or if we have to pay parking. Sometimes my husband will go to O'Reilly and purchase things that we need for the car, and I just kind of throw it in here. And finally, travel. We did spend one night in a hotel out of town. It was $289, and this is when we went to do some house hunting. We had been looking at some houses in the area, but we recently decided that with the interest rates where they are right now, we are just not going to buy right now. It just doesn't make sense. So what we're going to do is continue to save like we're saving for a down payment. And in the short term, we will probably be renting a house. It just does not make sense to purchase a house with the interest rates being where they are right now, which is like close to 7%. And if we were to do so, it would only make sense if we're staying in that house for like at least 20 to 30 years. And we're just not ready for that commitment yet. We don't know where we want to lay down our roots and settle. And hopefully in the future, we will be at a point where either interest rates have lowered and we can enter the market, or we would have saved up enough to possibly put down like cash for a house. Okay, now we're moving to the best part, which is saving. Starting off strong, we saved $4,216 in our general savings account, even though the RSUs definitely came in clutch this month because it saved us and helped us hit our goal. We could have still saved so much more, but you can tell by our expense section and all the red, that's where that extra money went. Our emergency fund, we currently don't contribute to it because it's already at a limit where we feel comfortable with. That should cover around 4-5 months of our expenses. I would love to get that to 6 to 12 months. We also have a joint fund. So with this, we're investing in an index fund, which is basically simulating the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones, where instead of investing into a single company stock, you're investing into an index fund, which is made up of many different company stocks. So it's a way to easily invest in one thing while also enjoying the benefit of diversification. And if one stock plummets, all of your money doesn't just go down with it. I also contribute to my employee stock purchase plan. And this is something that employers offer to their employees where they can purchase the company stock at a discount. Depending on how it performs, I'll probably start to contribute even more a month to this. I also have a 401k. I don't contribute to this in my budget because this is actually pulled out from my paycheck before I receive it. I contribute around 10% to my 401k. They usually recommend around 15% contributions to your retirement account. And the reason I lowered this was because I also opened up a Roth IRA, and together that comes out to be around 15%. With a 401k, you get taxed when you take your money out. And with a Roth IRA or with a Roth 401k, whatever it may be, you get taxed when you put your money in. So really, depending on what tax bracket you expect to be in at retirement, that's how you should base this on. But since I don't know what tax bracket I'm going to be in, it's just best to put your eggs in both baskets. My husband also has a Roth IRA, and we max his out. We put as much into that fund as we can right now so that then we can enjoy compound interest, and then that can exponentially grow. And then Sasha and Violet, my two girls, they both have a 529 plan, which is basically an investment / savings fund for their college tuition. So when they get to the point of wanting to pursue higher education, they will have money there to take, and that will hopefully alleviate expenses that they, or probably me and my husband, will have to incur at that time. And lastly, we have a vacation fund. This is a new baby fund I started 3 months ago. We just went on a cruise a few months back, and when we paid for the cruise, we actually pulled out a lot from our savings fund, which is fine, but it didn't feel good. So it's kind of like a mental thing, right? When you have these different buckets and you have money in there for a given purpose, and then that purpose comes around and you use it for that purpose, it feels right. There's no guilt associated with it. So that's why I'm creating a vacation fund. And it also encourages us to make sure that we go on vacation and we use the money that we work so hard for. So that is our vacation fund, and I'm excited to grow that so that we can plan our next trip. I think we want to go to Japan. I mentioned that we don't have a lot of debt. The only debt that we have are these two accounts. So the first one is a plastic surgeon. I didn't get any work done, but I did do a laser facial treatment. I had this really strange onset with acne the past year and a half. I was struggling with it every single day, and it left a lot of these marks and scars and just texture. I had to look up the treatment. It's called Fraxel. So it's where they take a laser and basically like laser your skin, and you're like a bright red tomato. But oh my gosh, it worked so well. It was very expensive. I had 3 different sessions, each $1,000. So it came out to be like 3,000 something. And I have no regrets. So I'm on a payment plan with that. If I pay off the full balance by a certain date, I believe it was 24 months, I don't have to pay any interest on that borrowed money. So that's where this $320 monthly payment comes from. It's basically calculated based on the time period that I have to pay this off by. We also have a Best Buy credit card where we bought a TV a couple months back at the beginning of this year. Our TV had weird splotches happening. It was just very old. So we just decided to bite the bullet and go buy a new TV. Instead of taking from our savings fund, they also had 0% finance, 0% interest-free financing. Did I say that right? So it just made more sense to put it on our credit card and do monthly payments to pay it off than to take from our savings, because the money sitting on our savings is making money. Overall, we did good in terms of hitting our goals, our savings goal being the main thing. For the month of July, we will want to implement better practices. One of them definitely being making sure that we're putting any extra money that we're getting a month into our savings and not touching it. Mindful spending when it comes to shopping and eating out. We don't have a lot of events going on in the month of July in terms of birthdays and celebrations, but it is summer and we do plan on doing events like going to rodeos, going to fairs. So maybe during those events too, we will be more mindful of eating at home first. So those are some of the things that I will keep in mind as we go through the month of July. And in my Notion, I have a monthly reflection tracker. For June, my first intention was to spend time outside. I work inside. I have a desk job and it's summer. I love the sun. I need to get out more. So we did a lot of hiking this month. We spent a lot of time outside, and I definitely want to continue this in the month of July. I also got out of my workout funk. I've started to develop a routine where I go to 3 fitness classes a week. I usually do barre on Mondays, yoga on Wednesdays, and I either do like cycling or Pilates on Thursdays. I also did my mid-year reflection and goal setting for the year. I find that sometimes I'll set these big audacious goals on January 1st, and then it'll be June or July, and I'll be like, wow, I did nothing on this goal. There's no progress to be shown. I might as well just give up and restart next January. So I find that it's always good to have a midpoint check-in where you ask yourself, okay, based on what I've completed and what is achievable, what is reasonable, how can I adjust these goals and make it doable? If something doesn't feel achievable, many of you are probably like me where it's just like, let's just push it to next year. So it's always good to do that midpoint review. I also implemented a 3 breaths micro practice. It's basically just a process of taking 3 deep breaths. The first breath, you just bring attention to the breath alone. The second breath, you bring attention to your body and how your body feels and like any tight areas in your body. And on the third breath, you ask yourself what is important right now. And this is something that I just learned in a workshop through my employer. And it sounds kind of funny, it sounds a little gimmicky, but it works wonderfully. So that's something that I implemented this month. My biggest accomplishment this month was going on a hike every Saturday. I love the All Trails app where you're able to like document your hike and you can see the trail. It's super neat. I also mentioned I reset my goals and intention for the year. I also fell in love with barre. So barre is one of the fitness classes that I attend, and it's a combination of Pilates, yoga, and ballet. And so I love it. It is so fun. I think it's always great to try out like different workouts or different classes and see what really gravitates to you. So I'm enjoying it, and I go every single week. Challenges for the month was finding motivation in my corporate job. We go through a lot of really busy periods, and right now is a really busy time. And this month was just kind of one of those months where I'm just like, I just need to get through it and I need to do what I need to do, but it's not really feeling fun and I'm not really feeling motivated. So this will fluctuate over the course of the year, but that's just kind of how I felt in the month of June. Also, this month, I felt a lot of grief and emotions. I lost several family members in the past few years, and they were very close to me, and I've never really gone through this in my life, so that was a very big shift in my family dynamic. Even though it's been a few years, it's still something that I find challenging and something I'll continue to navigate through. Favorite memory of the month was going to a Giants game on Father's Day in the family, and we also went to the county fair a week ago. So that was so much fun, and I want to make sure that we fill our summer with like really fun events like this. And honestly, not even just summer, like our whole year should be filled with these types of things, and I want to do more of that. And trying something new, I tried out Notion. This is Notion here, and I love it. And I'm also filming a YouTube video right now. So my first YouTube video on this channel, I plan to keep it going. Would love for you to join along with me and this journey. I just think it's really fun to document these monthly recaps. And finally, self-development. I'm listening to The Confidence Gap on Audible. I highly recommend it. I think we all struggle sometimes with feeling confident in our capabilities and what we can do and not pushing ourselves to our limits because of those fears of failure or not being perfect. So this is a really great book to listen to, and I want to make sure that I implement this form of self-development every month. And just real quickly, in July, my goals and intentions for this month is to make sure that there's more fun time with my girls. I want us to do crafts, go on adventures, basically do all of the fun things that kids should be doing during their summer. I want to listen to my body. So I am on a fitness health journey right now, and I find that I can sometimes just push myself, and if I don't hit my water intake for that day or my step count for that day, I feel like I failed that day, and that's not right either. So I need to have more compassion for myself and listen to my body and stop when I feel like my body is tired. I also want to make sure we do 10 no spend days throughout the month. So that's 2 to 3 no spend days a week. And I feel like this will just contribute to our mindful spending goal and our savings goal that we have. And finally, I mentioned this several times already, but I want to make sure that we use our side gig money not to pad our spending, and it goes directly into savings. So we're doing some dog sitting this month. I think that's the only additional income that we're getting aside from our paychecks. So all of that should be going to our savings. So those are my monthly intentions and goals for July. And I do have a reading tracker that I keep. This year, I've read 13 books so far. I'm a baby reader, so I know that there are some book talk girls out there that can read 20 books in a month, and that is amazing, but I just cannot read that fast. So I'm currently enjoying the ACOTAR series. Oh my gosh, I never thought I would like fantasy. It's not real. What? I never understood it until I read Fourth Wing. That was an amazing book. I read Fourth Wing, I read Iron Flame, fell in love with fantasy, and then I was like, okay, I have to see what the hype is about ACOTAR, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses. This book is called A Court of Wings and Ruins, and it ruined me. It was so good. It ruined me in the best way that you can be ruined. And I know that makes no sense except for maybe to the people who probably have read this book. It was so good. I'm deep into my fantasy era. So yeah, there we go. That basically wraps up the month of June, and we are full force into July already. If you enjoy this content and you want to stick along for the journey, please go ahead and subscribe. Again, if you have any questions about any of the things that I talked about today, please drop them in the comments and I will get back to you. And again, thank you so much for your support. I hope this was entertaining and even inspiring. I'll see you next time. Bye. So the reason I do blah, blah. Delicious.